the hill. Exactly what
What
he's
is he
known
putting in the
for.
water?
Identical. Nice run, nice, beautiful run.
And
And a little 360 to boot, keep it on the track.
around to the
Power
line,
down, letting that
360.
engine sing,
Beautifully
baby.
done.
Welcome back, everyone. Oversteer Grand Prix brings us all the way to Ireland for round 4. Here at Mondello, we expect a forecast of clear skies, a little bit of sunshine, but a whole lot of tire smoke.
Sound waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see ourselves a new leader.
The theme is
Hello and welcome back to round 4 of Oversteer Grand Prix here at the beautiful Mondello Park. Quick shout out to all of our beautiful partners who helped to make this all possible. ESDA, a lot of drivers vying for an opportunity to drive in a lot of their events. Big shout out to Kinetik Kreations for all the liveries seen on the cars today. Everyone over there at the Kinetik Esports team. Another shout out to Drake Drifts for all of the layouts he does for all these tracks, bringing them to life here at Oversteer. And Augie Customs, where you can get amazing custom work done. And Grip Royal, be on the lookout for those new Oversteer Grand Prix and drivers vying for an opportunity to get themselves a beautiful trophy wheel at the end of this. And if you like the cars and tracks seen today, you can find them all on Vosan and Gripped Up Mods. Try your hand at this tricky track we call home here for round 4. But we already got our first driver up to the line, Devo, driving for Team EF, aka Galaxy, in that always striking E36. But we are all ready to go here for qualifying. It's going to be a show. We had an absolute blast, a lot of high scores from last round at Atlanta. We'll see if these drivers can step it up a notch. See a few more high 90-point runs and a few more 80s. Galaxy here, Devo, going to be leading the charge today for Group 1. Nice, easy initiation in, but he's going to sail past that first inner clip. touches the cone on that second one. We'd like to see him be a little more flush with that as he makes his way through the power alley to the wall. Real shallow, and oh, big correction. That is going to be a lot of points deducted there as he touches a tire out into the grass. Oh man, it's all falling apart on this run. But maybe he'll get a score in. See what the judges think. I believe he was able to continue his drift throughout the wall, even though he had that major mistake. As we await the scores, judges making sure they catch every drop, every correction. Make sure we got the best of the best leading the leaderboards. Once again, and it will be a 0 for Devo. Deeming that correction, I think he might have straightened there, unfortunately. Possibly just deeming that an unchaseable run. At the end of the day, unfortunately, it will be a 0. Seems we're having a little issue with the scores not popping up. We will be sure to fix that as we continue along here. Just bear with us as we try to sort this problem out. We want to make sure we put on the best show for all of you guys at home and all the drivers waiting patiently get their chance to see what they can put down here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, perfect. And it looks like we have our next driver coming up to the line. Like Dang O'Shell. Sure of what? Shelton up to the line. So we await the start light to send him on his way. Here we go. Another C6 has joined the battle in this series. Hanging it on in, not doing too terrible of a job so far, hitting his marks. Big angle down the power alley as he floats it nice up to that wall. A little bit of left foot brake just to tuck him up nicely there. And oh, was not able to get the power down soon enough and absolutely punted away that inner clip. But will be a score coming through, hopefully, for Shelton. Following Devo's unfortunate 0. As we await the judges' scores. They start to make their way in here. It is always nice seeing another C6 join the roster here. Jonathan Casillas being the lone Piloteer, that vehicle in the pack. I personally think it's a great car. The scores will come through, and it will be a 69 for Shelton. Not at all a too terrible score. It's nice to always just get a score down. These drivers all do have 2 runs. So the first is not set in stone, but it is always good to have a little bit of a higher score. As Ryan makes his way to the line here, that big body JZX. Very popular car amongst many of the drivers. And not deny that it's a certainly exciting car to watch. As we await the light. Get this run underway, run 3 of the night. A lot more to come. Nice smooth initiation in, but not a lot of angle. As, a little bit of a late transition there for the inner clip. Able to fight through it. As he makes his way into the wall. Heavy contact, and that's going to straighten him out. And more contact on that wall. Tire drop. But still continuing the run. You got to give it to him. And certainly putting it all out there. Hey, it's just a good practice run. You'll get your first run in, shake off the nerves, and then party down for your second. Will unfortunately be 0 as he fully straightened up his car into the wall. We'll get our next driver up to the line. I believe we will be seeing Miles make his way. Yes, he is, as he rounds the corner. Miles skids, or as he is more famously known, no-show skids, or no-show Miles, up to the line in that ever eardrum deafening S14. Miles skids patiently awaits the light. Here we go. Firing down the gears. Initiates in good angle through that first inner clip. Good transition. Smacks the cone a little bit. But nothing too terrible. Nice and smooth through power alley. Put the bumper onto the wall, but that's going to kill his run, unfortunately. He's backing it too far. This may hopefully not be the ongoing theme of today. The wall is certainly a tricky part of this course, as it is a very hammered down track. You got to have a sort of delicacy when entering into the wall. Easily grab a lot of drivers by surprise. But that would be an absolute great run. That was coming from Miles. I'd like to see him see what he can do on his second run, see if he can't turn it up. We got Galaxy up to the line, ready for his second run. Unfortunately, zeroing in his first. He needs to put down a score here if he wants to make it into the show. As he patiently waits the light. Here we go, white light flashes. Foot hammered onto the throttle out of the gate. Smooth initiation. Almost over. Oh, nope. As I say that, he does over angle. Unfortunately, that's going to be our first 0-0. Oh, hard into the wall. First 0-0 of the night. Unfortunate. That's not what you want to see. That's definitely not what we want to see either. We want to see some scores get thrown down, but a nice little 360 after all is said and done. Very unfortunate for Galaxy and Team EF camp over there. Up next, I believe we'll have Shelton make his way up to the line for his second run. Currently sitting on that 69. Let's see. That's what I'm hearing from my TV director. Best score, absolutely. But maybe he can improve on this one. We'd like to see him up in the higher echelon. I'm for certain he would like to be up there too. As he patiently waits at the line to get sent. And here we go. Already got a score on the board, so he's safe there. But what can he do here? Big angle initiates in. Exactly what we've seen from his first run. Nice and smooth so far. Wall here, what can he do? A little bit of a hiccup there. Entering in as he's going to slowly back his way up to the wall, but he had a good bit of proximity from it. Nice and smooth, big angle. Able to hit that inner clip a lot better this time around. And all the way in that zone as he comes across the line. And a little 360, a little fakey. Beautifully done. Hanging it all the way around that corner. Yes, sir. This will most certainly probably be a improvement off of his last score. We'll see how much of an improvement it will be. Some scores starting to come in. An 80-point run for Shelton. Or 78, sorry, small correction there. A 78, still really good score. That's going to put him up into that, at least the high top 20 at least. As we'll see Ryan is going to make his way back to the line, hoping that he can put down a score. A lot of these drivers all in the same little pickle here. Shaking off the nerves, it is always a little bit of a struggle going as the first group. You don't really know what the precedent is. You don't know the scores that have been set. It's always a little more nervous. These drivers able to handle that pressure. You'll see as Ryan attempts his second run here. As we wait on the light to send him. Here we go. Ryan getting down the initiation. Big angle, but he's going to clip that first inner clip there. Oh, no. Car just gripped up there, drug him into the grass. But nice and smooth through all little corrections here and there. Keeping it smooth. Big angle, but that's going to set him up very poorly for that inner clip. The same thing we saw from Shelton in his first run. We'll see if this is a scoreable one. So I believe we are seeing some scores come in, so I believe you might get something out of this. I don't think there's any part he zeroed. It is more just a question on if it was chaseable at all. But yes, we are seeing some scores come in here. He will get a score. The only question is, what will it be? As Miles skids already up to the line, ready to go for his second run. Remember the heater that he was on in his first, just had that little hiccup at the wall. See what he can do here. The score is slowly starting to come through. Waiting on the score to get in here. $23 for Ryan. Not a great score, but it's a score. Certainly one he'll take. Miles skids. He's been waiting. He's anxious. He's ready to go. Shaking off the nerves. See what he can put down here. Can he rival Shelton's 78? Not a super high score to beat, but it's the highest one we got right now. Wow, skids firing down the order. Nice angle into that first inner clip. Bumper right onto the cone, as we like to see, right through that touch and go. Nicely done through the power alley. This is where it got him before, but he sets it up nice and smooth. Not exactly dragging bumper on the wall, but keeping it right where he needs to be. Massive angle coming into that final inner clip. And right onto the wall. That's going to be a great score for Miles. What an absolute blazing run. Wait to see. What do the judges think? How good of a run was that really? Had a little, the 59 is not true. We had a little bit of a scoring error. Someone typed in an R. 83. There we go. Able to take down Shelton for top score. Judges still just wanting to see a little bit more. They know what's out there. They just need those drivers to go and take it. Oh yeah, absolutely. Going to be certainly heavily judged because there's not a lot. Not a lot on this track. Nice flowy. A lot of drivers like it for that, but does mean that there needs to be a little nitpickiness. Everything will be hyper analyzed by our half cyborg judges. They all got implants over the weekend, so last weekend. Cool. Once again, another shout out to all of our partners for all of their support. Wouldn't be able to do this without them. If you'd like to find all of our tracks we use throughout the season and the car packs that we use here, find those all on Vosan and Gripped Up Mods. Always a fun pack to drive. I'm not a big drifter. I don't sim drift as much as I used to, but I always like to throw down with these cars from time to time. But we'll be back as we load in our next group here. We're going to cut to a quick commercial, but we'll be back for more qualifying action.
Slam limiter down the hill. Exactly what he's known for. Identical. Nice run, nice, beautiful run. And a little 360 to boot, keep it on the track. Power down, that engine sing, beautifully done.
Welcome back, everyone. Oversteer Grand Prix brings us all the way to Ireland for round 4. Here at Mondello, we expect a forecast of clear skies, a little bit of sunshine, but a whole lot of tire smoke.
Sound waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
Be surprised if we see ourselves a new leader.
The theme is
Hello and welcome back, everybody. We're getting our next group finished up here. They're getting their practice runs going, getting warmed up, ready to put on a show. I believe we'll have a few drivers in this one, 4 drivers in this group. So it'll be nice we grabbed a few others from the other groups and kind of condensed them. We like efficiency here at Oversteer Grand Prix. We live by it. These drivers going to keep getting their practice laps in. See Lucas Yes there getting his warm-ups. Also see Jeremy Baptiste, another C6, take on this course, see what he can do. Jason Jones, another driver in this group. We'll see what he can do in the S15. A lot of drivers, a lot of good drivers. We'll see what they can do. We have a few scores on the board. We'll see how the competition stacks up as we get deeper into this. A lot of the top drivers in the standings are in that final group. So we'll just have to wait and see what lies in store. I believe we're just waiting on Gordon Saunders to make his way in here. We'll be able to kick off this next group of fun and excitement. No, it's not. Drivers still just getting their practice in, waiting on one driver to make his way in. I believe he'll be making his way in here soon. He's got all of his issues sorted out, so get ready to go here soon. Once again, another shout out to all of our partners. A lot of big stuff going on over at ESDA. A lot of drivers vying for those points. Some few opportunities to head to some of the majors. We just had one of our very own make their way over to the spring major. Qualified himself. Lester unfortunately did not want to take that offer, so he passed it on over to, I believe it was Jonathan Casillas. So we'll be seeing him take his shot over at that competition. I believe we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. On the road. On the road. We are just getting little things here figured out. There he is. Yes, sir. Jordan Saunders finally made his way in. Now we can finally get the show on the road. Jason Jones, first driver up to the line in the S15. A lot of S chassis love in this group here. See what he can do. Kick off Group 2 qualifying. Up to the line, ready to go. And he's off. Initiates in, good angle onto the power early. It's a little bit of that clip, but keeps it moving. A little bit of that one too, but nothing too crazy. Not able to get out to that second zone. Oh, in the wall. Oh no. Another one. Victim. You'd think after all the practice runs he had, yeah, he'd be able to figure out where that wall was. we have a wall tally going down. Yeah, we got a victim counter as we got Lucas Yes up to the line. The RPS 13.5. Ready to go here. Can he avoid the wall? That's going to be the big question for today. I guess on everyone's first runs, we've seen a lot of people find their way into there. Lucas, he's just... Oh, little interesting initiation there. Lucas, as he takes a little more of a steadier approach to it. Nice and smooth, but not a very fast run, but still keeping it smooth. As he floats his way around the final corner, I think he got a little bit of that wall. Able to cross the line. A safe run for what will most likely be a safe score. Wait, judges scoring. It will be a 70-point run for Lucas. Looks like smooth does pay off. He was able to get down a pretty good score there. Especially for how clinical the judges are being today. Jeremy Baptiste making his way to the line. Another C6. We're actually starting to see a few more of these Corvette drivers make their way out of the fray. So he's up to the line, did a little rolling burnout as he made his way there. And he's ready to go. He's fired up. Now we await the light. Here we go. Jeremy Baptiste. Nice smooth initiation. Able to get good proximity onto that inner clip, but man, he is ripping off the limiter. Not letting that thing breathe for a moment. A little bit of left foot brake, trying to get himself back up to the wall. As he comes around to the final turn here. Nice and smooth through that inner clip. Had to take a little bit of angle out for that wall. Able to come across the line. That should be another pretty good score. It's nice not seeing zeros. This is a very difficult track. It's very extremely deceiving. This will be a 67 for Jeremy Baptiste. That will put him fourth currently. But not many drivers put in a score yet, so we'll wait to see how the standings shake up later on tonight. But Jordan Saunders up to the line. Another S13.5. Here we go. Jordan Saunders. White light flashes. He's ready to go. Nice another smooth, nice initiation there. Able to get to those clips nice and smooth. He floats his way onto the wall. Little tap, but he's able to control it. Still keeping the power down. Absolutely, sailed that inner clip. Able to finish out the run, but that inner clip, man, that's going to eat at him. Especially for how good of a run it was looking up to that point, besides the wall tap. See what Jordan Saunders is able to score here on his first run. As we will work our way back around the qualifying order. It's Jason Jones making his way to the line. Still awaiting the scores for Jordan Saunders. Probably taking a closer look at how that wall would be scored. How that would affect the run. But it will be a 48 for Jordan Saunders. Not great, but it's a score. Jason Jones. A driver without a score. Gonna nab one here on his second run. So we are all ready to go. Jason initiates in, firing through that first inner clip. Not able to get all the way to that second clip, neither that second outside zone. Clearly absent from the wall. Able to back it up a little bit through the second half, but missed way too much of that. Missed the inner clip there too. But he's gonna get a score. That's all that matters for Jason Jones. He will get a score. As they slowly start to make their way in. Sigh of relief for any driver in that position. Have to be. Maybe not the greatest. Yes, it will be a 50 for Jason Jones. Not the greatest, but it's a score. Especially after we've already seen one driver today double incomplete. Lucas, yes. Up to the line, sitting on a 70. What can he do more? We are all ready to go. Now he awaits the light. Proven to us that smooth can be efficient. Nice big angle to that inner clip. Missed a line there, but not a massive deduction by any means. Off and on the throttle through the power alley, but able to snug it up to the wall. Floating through that final corner, misses it. And having to just try to nurse that thing around that final zone. It's overshooting that inner clip is going to set you up extremely poorly for that wall. He was able to bring it across the line, may not be an improvement, but it'd help in the presence of a tie, as we would take whoever had the higher run. But it will be a 60 for Lucas. Well, certainly help in the long run. Definitely not the results he wanted to see right now. So we got Jeremy Baptiste sitting on a 67. He's looking to improve. The white light flashes. Here we go. Firing out of the gate on the power. Nice flick in. Right up to that cone. Nice and smooth through those first two clips. Letting it sing off the limiter. Throwing it right onto that wall. Keeping it nice and smooth. Not many major corrections here. Floating through that inner clip and out to that wall. That's got to be a big improvement for Jeremy Baptiste. And a 360 to boot. Look at that. What a run by Jeremy Baptiste as he parks it in front of the camera. As those scores make their way in. 86 for Jeremy Baptiste. Absolutely shocking. That will put him up into first place. Not shocking by any means. That was an amazing run. But knocking down Miles. He had that thing hooked up right onto the wall. We got Jordan Saunders. See if needs to improve here. But so far, looking good through those first two zones. I've gotten a little bit of the cone. Little correction through the power alley. It sits it right up and tight onto that wall. A little bit of left foot brake to keep him in there, but man, he's powering through it. Nice and floating through that last inner clip. This is going to be beautiful for Jordan Saunders as he makes his way across the improvement. Shaking off the nerves. Massive improvement for Jordan Saunders. Able to shake off the rust there. As we'll wait the scores. Should be another real good one. A 79 for Jordan Saunders. I believe that'll slot him into third currently. Not a bad run at all. Starting to heat up as we will get our next group in here, as that will finish things out. We take a quick look over at the standings. Not many drivers, but we do have a few on there. Jeremy Baptiste absolutely throwing it down. Few drivers able to get into the 80s. Will we see any get the 90s? Maybe. The drivers will only get better as the night goes on. So we'll see. Already got an 86 on the board, so man, it's looking good. A lot more action yet to come as we load in our next group. I think we have a Kinetik driver or a legacy driver. Kinetik. See, without Strep here, I'm a mess. We got Legacy from Team Kinetik. He's going to be in this group, as well as a few STB drivers. Ghosts and 33 Ryan. The Pudgy Platypi will make his appearance. See what he can throw down. They start to load in, get their practice. Once again, shout out to all of our partners. The beautiful family over there at Team Kinetik. Kinetik Kreations. Kinetik Kreations, once again, putting together all the liveries for this car pack. And man, they are certainly beautiful. And each one unique in their own way. Yeah, they all look the same colors and yada yada, but each one has a little bit of its own flair to it. If you ever have some time, take a look. It's a lot more than meets the eye. Transformer. The drivers just getting their practice runs in. We got a beautiful camera set up there on the exit of turn 2. See the absolute speed these guys are flying through there. They set themselves up for the power alley. Now we are condensing a few of our groups just to make things move a little easier. I believe this would be Group 5 making their way in. Drivers still just getting warm, getting ready. We want to put on the best show possible. Absolute best score possible as well. Once again, shout out to our cameraman, Kyle. You know him, you love him. If you hate him, you're wrong. Shout out to this guy and making it all go down. Streaming in 1440p. No pixels here. Many pixels. A lot of pixels here. I believe we're just getting everyone rolling. I think we got the whole gang here, so I think we'll get ready to go. We'll be seeing, I believe, STB Ghosts up to the line first. Yes, that is correct, as he works his way around. At S14. What can he put down here? I believe we'll see both the STB guys go back to back, so that'll be pretty interesting and fun to see. Here we go. White light flashes. We got Group 5 action. Initiates in nice and smooth, big angle. So he makes his own way on through to the power alley. Not quite filling all of that zone, but nice and uptight to the wall. right where he needs to be. Floats it around the inner clip and out to that wall. That's going to be a pretty good score. Right where he STBs. The scores making their way on through. Only a few minor mistakes, as it will be a 79-point run for Ghosts. It's an absolute great score. So I just had a few little minor mistakes here and there, but overall, a real good run. As I believe we'll see 33 Ryan make his way up to the line next. In the S15, two drivers from the same team, two different generations of S chassis. Ready to go. Waiting the light. There he goes. 33 Ryan. Initiates in, good angle. A little too tight to that inner clip, punts that cone out of the way. Not all the way deep in that second outer, but was able to grab that third. A little bit of left foot brake, snug him up to the wall, right where he needs to be. Flying through to the inner clip. Real tricky, but is able to make it look easy. Like, nice 360, yeah! 33 Ryan throwing it down. Well, what do the judges think? $78 for Ryan, putting him 1 point below his teammate. No bragging rights there as they will wait for their second runs. I believe we'll be seeing Blake March make his way to the line. Strange Angle was able to make his way into the server finally, but unfortunately he had to forfeit his first run. Here he comes, Blake March. The S13.5. 3 runs, 3 different generations. He's ready to go. What kind of heater can he throw down here at Mondello? Smooth initiation. Grabs that clone a little bit. He's way into the wall, floats it in. Nice and smooth minor corrections here and there. As he makes his way to the tricky inner clip there, nabs it, gets it all the way out to that wall and across the line. Bad run. We're starting to run out of cones here. The drivers just keep hitting them. We're losing cones left and right. We'll see what Blake March scores. Not too terrible of a run. Should be a pretty good score. It will be a 73 for Blake March. But the pudgy platypi making his way to the line in E46. What can this platypi do? Maybe pudgy. He certainly knows how to throw down. await the light. Here we go. Fires out of the gate, makes his way down. Smooth initiation. Able to keep it off the cone, but a little bobble there. Not all the way into that zone, but does grab that one. Back, oh, a little tap on the wall. Doesn't let that phase him too much as he continues through the rest of this course. Overshoots that inner clip. Is able to grab all of that outer zone. May not be great, but it's a score. As oh no! Oh man. We just witnessed death firsthand, everybody. Now we wait the scores for Platypi himself. 64. It's not a bad, not a great score, but it's a score. As legacy, Travis Dawson up to the line for Team Kinetik. Against Strep, unfortunately, could not join us today. I don't think he'll be around tomorrow either. I believe he's at the Last Fest. But ready to throw down here. Strep it, looking on from the wings. Massive angle. Man, he throws that thing, but maybe a little bit too much. He misses the entirety of that inner clip. Really trying to appease the angle judge, throwing it. Not just throwing it, just slinging it. Not bad through the rest of this run. He's able to find his footing. But that inner clip is certainly going to do a deficit on his score. One that he'll probably want to get back. But he'll have another chance. It is only his first run. But it's 70 for Travis Dawson. Not a bad score at all. Definitely seen where he could do a little bit better. Joel Wilson making his way to the line. Unfortunately, had to forfeit his first run as he was not able to show up to the line in time. What? It's all ready to go. He's at the line. Going to throw down for his second run here. We're all ready to go. That ever striking E92, the first one we've seen today. What can he do in it? Nice big angle on initiation, but washes out from that zone a little early. Out nice and wide to that second outer zone as he floats his way into the wall. Minor corrections just to keep himself within it. He makes his way around the final corner. Nice and tight to that inner clip, but can't get out to that outside zone. It's a score. After forfeiting his first one, unfortunately. It's good that he got one in. It's important. He's in the show. Now we just await what was his score. The judges will tell us that. That's 59 for Joel Wilson. It's a score. Not the greatest score, but good score. Ghost making his way to the line for his second run. Ready to go. Ghost sitting on a 79 right now. 1 point better than his teammate Ryan. We'll see if he can improve that The white light flashes and away we go. The ever-deafening S14 overshoots that inner clip. Oh, man, but able to nab that one. Nice angle through these power alley zones. Not filling them all the way as he throws it right onto the wall. Dragon bumper all the way around. He's got one thing down. It's certainly that wall, and that's the most important as he absolutely takes out that cone on that inner clip. But able to bring it around. We'll see if it's an improvement on his 79. The judges will be the deciding factor on that. As score is slowly starting to make their way in. And unfortunately, it won't be, as it will be a 73 for Ghosts. His teammate, 33 Ryan, making his way to the line. See if he can't one-up his teammate. As the marshal gives the green flag, and here come the lights. Firing down the chute. Nice big angle. Little touch on the cone. Just a little touch. Able to get a little bit of those zones. Throwing it right onto the wall with massive angle. Absolutely wheeling this thing around. Massive angle, even more pouring it onto that inner clip. Unfortunately, he takes that cone out. And a little 360 magic as he makes his way across the line. Another one. Oh, he stalled it. I don't know what's more. I think he should have just left it at that 360. It's nothing more embarrassing than stalling your car. At least in my eyes. Score is starting to make their way in. So it will be a 72.5. Unfortunately, the line not coming through. But Blake March up to the line. What can he do sitting on a 73? A lot of drivers sitting around the 70 range. 80 is going to separate you. Blake March firing on through. A little bit of that cone, but man, he's absolutely sending it. Throwing caution to the wind. Massive angle into the wall. He puts the bumper right onto it. Coming around the final corner. Oh no! Misses the final inner clip. Unfortunately, that's would have been a great run just to a good run. But still, nice run for Blake March. See if that improves his 73. But it may be just about on par. 75, just a little bit of an improvement, but hey, he'll take it. That's the platypi coming around. He's ready to go. An improve off of a 64. Not a great score, but it's a score. Now he has the opportunity to improve on it. He has everything at his disposal. What can he put down? Nice smooth initiation in. Grabs a little bit of the cone. Out to that outside zone. Getting way out there. Just what the judges want to see. A little bit of left foot brake to back it up to that wall. It's a little tap, but didn't affect the car much. Coming around the final corner. Nice to that inner clip. This looks like a pretty good improvement for the pudgy platypi. And a 360. Oh, a little 180 into the gravel trap. He drove himself into the gravel trap. Or let's say backed into the gravel trap. Pudgy Platypi. How much will his score improve by? That was a massive improvement. 81! 81 for the Platypi. That's going to cement him into third right now. But what a run. Now Travis Dawson up to the line. He had that little mistake initiating in. Sailed it past the inner clip, but he's learned. Hopefully he'll put that knowledge on display here. As we await the green light from the marshal. Here we go. Travis Dawson, what can he do? That S13, a lot more nicer, but still not able to get to that inner clip as he just barely grazes the last hash mark. Nicely through the power alley. Pulls himself out, but backs himself back into the wall. He makes his way around the final turn here. Not quite all the way to the wall. But we'll have to see if that is an improvement off of his current 70. We'll wait the judges' scores. And he will not, but it will be a 69. That's a pretty nice score right there. As we'll take a look at our leaderboard here. Jeremy Baptiste still holding strong. That first position. Miles and Pudgy Platypi filling out that top three. Pudgy just getting himself there off of that second run he had. Massive improvement. See the rest of the drivers. So we've seen 13 take their swing here. Able to put down a score as we get our next group of drivers in here. We'll have more action. See Dustin from Team Concept had a little bit of a rough go at round 2 at Pine Valley, but looking to bounce back. Had a pretty decent day at Atlanta, but he knows he can do so much more. Real, another driver from Team Connect, we'll see him take a swing. And our own Brazilian himself, Matthias Matos. See what he can do. Always an exciting driver when he gets behind the wheel of that S13. We'll allow the drivers to make their way in, get their practice runs, get warm. We'll also see Slammed in that JZX. Hey. All right. Oh, my apologies. Drivers making their way on through. A lot more to come as we start to whittle down our final groups in the .360 King himself, Slammed. We'll see what he can do. He'll probably give us a hot bag of garbage. So prepare yourself for that abysmal show. I don't know why Augie has not put a leash on that guy yet. Needs to be contained. 360s he throws down should be labeled as war crimes. But we'll see. It's always a new day. Ivy, huh? You know what I said? God, you said the 360. Exactly. Exactly. So we all get it. Drivers getting their last practice runs in before we start lining them up, knocking them down. I think we're getting ready to go here. We got iReal up to the line. Ready to throw down his first run. His teammate Travis Dawson sitting on a 70. As you see by the scoreboard, that will now get to leave up there now that we got a few drivers getting their scores in. iReal gets initiated nice and smooth, able to get that inside clip, unlike his other teammate. But nice and smooth through those outer zones. Backing it up into the wall, maybe a little bit too much. It's a little bobble there as the wall just grabs onto that rear bumper. Not quite all the way tight to that inner clip and can't get all the way out to that zone, but not a bad run by any means. By iReal and a little 720. Little flare there. We'll see if the judges were impressed by his run. As Milo making his way up to the line. Sorry. A 58 for iReal. Most likely because the wall hit. Just missing a few of those zones. Affecting a little bit of his line score. Having a little bit of technical difficulty with one of our judges. He's working that out. And we're all good to go. If we get that fixed up fast, it's Milo up to the line. That S15, what can he do on his first run? Dips a tire over that yellow line. That's going to be a little bit of a small deduction. Went over that in the driver's meeting. We don't really want to see that, especially going into battles tomorrow. Milo's still throwing down a real good run here. Using a little bit of that left foot brake to get him up into the wall. Nice angle around the final corner here, able to grab both of those zones and across the line. A real good run by Milo. Score's already starting to make their way in. The next driver making its way up to the line. Dustin from Team Concept. Still waiting some of the judges' scores to make their way. $76 for Milo. Not a bad score at all. I'll slot him into 8th, but Dustin up to the line. can he do? Qualifying not always been his forte. Certainly knows how to throw down. So he whips that E36 in. Not bad through those first inner clips, able to keep it off the cones pretty well. Through the power alley, not able to get out to 3 quite as much. Absolutely ripping it through that wall. Not as close to it as we would like, but still, nice smooth run here. This is going to be a pretty good score. And a little 360 to boot. Dustin absolutely throwing it down. See what the judges think. 74 for Dustin. Keeping himself up there. Seems like the 70s are kind of where the mid-pack is. Slammed up to the line. What ungodly sight will he have for us after his qualifying run? The judges are only concerned about what he throws down on track. What can he do? Big initiation in, nice angle. Able to nab both of those zones, no problem. Getting out all the way out to those zones through the power alley, right onto the wall. Almost no corrections. Bringing around the final turn here. It's a little millimeter wide, not able to get all the way out to that wall. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, he's flipping. He's flipping. He just rolled over, like, think twice. Oh, my goodness. Headed straight for the wall. But an 84 for slammed will slot him into second. Has an insane amount of property and vehicular damage. I rail back up to the line. Okay. Oh man. Never ceases to amaze what Slam can do on track. Even after the line. The I-rail up to ready to go. Looking to improve off of the 58. Seen him do better. But absolutely slanging it in right now. Hitting those zones through a power alley. Absolutely perfect. Little bump on the wall. He's keeping it hammered. Big flick over into this inner clip. Just misses it a little bit. Having to check up a lot of angle up to that wall. And another 360. Gets it all the way around. There you go. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much of an improvement that run will be. Hopefully, at least somewhere near the 70s. 66 for iReal. Pretty accurate, pretty accurate. I'm not a judge, so... $66 for iReal. I'll put him up in the 14th, I believe. But Milo up to the line with the 76. How can he improve? Milo currently sitting 9th. See if he can't put down a 80-point run here. Get himself up into that top 5. That would absolutely be a day. Here goes. Not quite height that first inner clip. Able to grab the second. So low angle through that third outer zone, but absolutely pouring it on at the wall. Getting that bumper deep into there. Almost picked up a little dirt there. he makes his way across the final turn. Not a bad run at all. A little 360 around the corner. But a 78 for Milo. Little improvement. Not able to get his way up into those 80s. But not a bad run by any means. Now to improve him up into 7th. A little 2 positions. As he did have the better first run, or better overall runs, than Ryan and Shelton, both with 78s. We should have the next driver up to the line. I believe it will be Dustin. Yes, as he starts to make his way slowly but surely. He's getting there. And he's there. Ready to go. Sitting on a 74. Currently on the outside of the top 10 looking in. He put down for team concept. Nice smooth initiation in. Nice and tight to that inner clip. About misses a hash on the second. Through the power alley, looking smooth. Right up to the wall, a little touch. Doesn't upset the car too much. As he powers on out into the final turn here. Grabs that inner clip and almost all the way out to that wall. Left about an inch or 2 of space, but a little 360 to boot. We'll see what the judges think. Slammed already up to the line. He's ready to go. 73 for Dustin. Just shy. Slammed. What can he do? Sitting on that 84. Can he take down Jeremy Baptiste? He seems the driver poised to do it. Firing out of the gate. Here he goes. Big angle into that first inner clip. Making his way around to the power alley, just absolutely laying down the angle. Oh no! That's gonna zero out his run. A little 360 into the inner clip. Can he do it? No. But he does qualify in. At 84 will definitely make it so. I'd like to see a get across the line for another score, but sometimes it is what it is. I think I'm going to be honest. I think we just completely glazed over Matthias. I think he's been, yeah, he's in here. He's in the group. But I don't think he's gone yet. He's not even, for some reason, he's in group 7. Oh. Seems he was in the wrong place. All right, perfect. All right, so Matthias is going to just join us with the next group, as he had a little bit of a miscommunication on which group he was in. We'll make sure he gets a run, but we'll be right back with a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more action.
Slam limiter down the hill. Exactly what he's known for. Identical. Nice run, nice, beautiful run. And a little 360 to boot, keep it all the way around to the power down, that engine sing, beautifully done.
Welcome back everyone. Oversteer Grand Prix brings us all the way to Ireland for round 4. Here at Mondello, we expect a forecast of clear skies, a little bit of sunshine, but a whole lot of tire smoke.
waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see ourselves a new leader.
The theme is
All right, guys, welcome back. We're getting these guys their practice laps in. Once again, just another quick shout out to all of our beautiful partners. Rip Royal, ESDA, Kinetik Kreations, Augie Customs, Lock to Lock. All of us here at X3 love putting on this show for you guys. Once again, all of our tracks that we use throughout the season and the car pack can all be found on Vosan and Gripped Up Mods. So if you want to try your hand at putting down a 100-point run here, go ahead and give it a try. Give it a swing. I believe we're going to be getting our groups rolling here. Possibly. We got Chris coming up to the line. Looks like the drivers, yeah, they're poised. They're ready to go. They're warm. They're ready. They're ready to throw down some heaters. Chris waiting patiently. And pulled up to the line here. Chris getting his tires warmed up there. A couple clutch kicks. Getting those tires spinning. He's ready to go. Oh, a little tire drop there in initiation. First one we've seen out there. Nice big angle through the power alley. As he flicks it straight into that wall. Just sets it. Set it and forget it. No left foot brake. Little minor steering corrections. Overall, he's powering that thing through. All the way out to the wall and across the line. That's got to be a good score for Chris. A little flick there. That tire drop certainly going to hinder him a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how the judges look at that. Austin Sager up to the line. He's ready. It will be a 72 for Chris. I'd like to see what his score would have been if he didn't drop that tire. Probably could have been a lot higher. But that's what second runs are for. Austin Sager at JZX, ready to go. Hashtag boat life. And that grayscale livery. All the way out there. A little wavery through those inner clips, but he's getting it down. Nice and smooth into the wall. And about an inch or two distance from it. Still filling it like he needs to. Beautifully through that inner clip and all the way out to that wall. And like should be another 70-ish point run. See, that's where most of the drivers are sitting. Scores start to make their way through for Austin Sager. A 75 for Austin. That'll be a good score. That'll cement him that'll get him into the top 10. Boogies. He's ready to go. These drivers rolling. They've been itching. They've been waiting all day. They're ready to throw down. Boogies initiates in, overshoots that inner clip. Able to nab that one. It's all the way out to those rumbles. Touching a little tire in the no-go zone. A little tap on the wall. Still powering through. Floats his way in through that final zone, nice and smooth. Small little checkup there. Coming into the final zone, but as we'll get his scores coming through for Boogies. $71 for Boogies. It's Hard Luck Dalton. Or Dalton from Team Hard Luck. Up to the line in that E46. Will we see another 70-point run? These drivers, that's where they're sitting. We see someone show out with an 80. Will it be Dalton? Initiates in. Nice and tight to those inner clips. Nice and smooth through the power alley. Not too much crazy angle. Starts to pull out a little bit from that wall. Floats his way in. Little correction through the inner clip. Not able to get the power down as he wanted to. Dalton Thomas will get a score. Just await what that might be. They're starting to make their way through. It will be a 73 for Dalton Thomas. Got the group of the 70s. EOD Jason up to the line. He's ready to go. The white and black JZX. Marshall signaling the go ahead. Here we go. White light flashes. Jason do here. Massive angle through that second inner clip. Absolutely pouring it on as he sets himself up beautifully for the wall. Absolutely just dragging it all the way around. Himself out to that inner clip. A little bit of a hesitation there, but all the way out to the wall. Will this run be able to crack the 80s as he stalls it? Stalls the 360. We'll see what the judges think. Will we have our first driver to get into the 80s in this group? No, we won't. 76 for Jason. Judges absolutely analyzing these runs as Matt spies up to the line. Overall, none of these scores bad. ELD Jason now was able to get him into the top 10. Judges absolutely taking pen to paper. They're writing down every single mistake these drivers are making. You got to be top echelon. Matty absolutely throwing it down right now. Massive angle into that wall, man. He's doing it. He's dragging it all the way around, man. He's throwing it down. Oh, man. Takes out that cone as soon as I start talking. Oh, into the grass. 360 gone wrong. Scores coming through for Matty. $73. And they are absolutely picking apart these runs. Dominic Moya up to the line. Can he be the driver to get another 80-point run in this group? Flicks it in onto the power. A little bit of left foot brake. Takes out the inner clip cone. Absolutely throwing that rear end around on that E92. Massive angle coming into that inner clip. Floats himself out to that wall. Man, oh man. He was just slinging it. Just hucking it through that power alley. Will it impress the judges? It will be a 78. Just narrowly. But the man we've been waiting for since last group, Matthias, up to the line. He's ready to throw it down. He's been waiting longer than anybody. We're ready to see what he can throw down. Always exciting to watch. Big angle into that first inner clip. Able to grab it. Almost a fear of washing out there. He makes his way through the power alley nice and smooth. Massive angle coming out of 3. Massive angle into the wall. Man, he's throwing it. A little bit of a hiccup there. Still blowing it through, man. He's chucking it. He's throwing everything out there. No chance. Man, angle across the line. Matthias, man, oh man. And a 360 at the end to boot. Man. Electric. Absolutely electric. Well, what will it be? 82 for Matthias. He breaks the 70 curse. As Chris makes his way, he's already at the line. He's ready to go for a second run. Now they got our first breakaway here. Matthias up into 4th, man. What a run. Now drivers got all the safe runs out of the way. They're ready to throw it down. All the beans. Chris taking out that inner clip. Making his way through to the power alley. Not able to get all the way out to that zone. He's able to grab 3. Nice and smooth to that wall, but he's absolutely throwing it around. Nothing left on track for these drivers. They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink. Oh, a little tap on the wall. That's going to hinder his score a bit, but overall not too bad. Will that be an improvement off of a 72? That's the question as he's just burning it down. as these scores slowly start to make their way in. And you're going to start to see these drivers absolutely throwing it. 73, Chris will improve. 1 point. Usually it's always that 1 point that matters the most. Austin Sager up to the line. These drivers love to throw around those big JZXs. What can he do here? Just absolutely hucks it. Oh, man. Oh, that may be a little too much huck. As he just absolutely destroys that first inner clip. But he's got it on the right path here. Making his way up to the wall, sets it, forgets it. Absolutely powers all the way through. Little touch of the grass into that outer zone 5. But around the final turn, that'll be the story of this group. A little too much huck. It's absolutely obliterating. A double 75 for Austin Sager. First driver, I think, to double their score. But Boogie's up to the line. He's ready to go. Sitting on a 71. You'd like to see a little improvement. Hucks it in, but oh, major correction. He's washing out. Able to get a hold of it. But that's going to be a massive deduction. Once again, another story. Too much huck. Throwing a little bit too much at that initiation. Just trying to find that extra, those extra points that are being left out on the track. But Boogies was able to get it corralled around. We'll see if 59. No, will not improve. Very unfortunate. Especially being in the 70s range, a higher second or first run can definitely play a part into where you sit. With many of these point ties. Dalton Thomas, he's sitting on a 73. That E46, what can he do? Doesn't huck it into initiation. Nice and smooth. He wants to put down a good run here. Through the power alley. Not crazy angle. Nice through the wall. And about an inch or two off. But oh, getting into the dirt line, that 5. Brings it around. That'll be a score. That will be a score. I'm just looking at what's going on in the chat. It's ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous. Oh, man. We'll see what score is 68 for Dalton. Won't improve neither. But EOD Jason up to the line. Another driver stuck in 70 limbo. Hoping to claw his way out. No, not spinning tires out of the gate. He's preserving them. I like that big angle into inner clip 1. Brings it around to 2. Nice up tight to that cone, but not hitting it. Big angle through the power alley, right into the wall. Oh, little tap. Gets the car settled. Still keeps it pinned into that wall. Coming around, massive angle. Oh, no! That's going to be a 0 for him, unfortunately, as the chat still letting every driver that comes up to the line have it. Maddie, what can he do? Working with a 73. Another driver who'd like to improve. Things initiated in nice and tight to inner clip 1. Right, placing that car right where it needs to be. Nice big angle through the power alley, right up onto the wall. Dinging that bumper into there, but pulls out of the zone a little bit. Not eat his score just a tiny bit. Not able to get to that hash. Able to get to the first hash on that inner clip, but unfortunately, I don't think that'll be much of an improvement. That's just an attempt was made for something. Was it a 360? We'll never know. Scores already making their way in. But he will improve with the 76. She could have just gotten that last inner clip. Maybe he would have been looking at maybe a low 80. Dominic Moya. He's a driver that's poised to get up into those higher scores. Sitting on a 78. Sitting in 8th place. He's certainly the driver to do it. Initiates in, massive angle. Oh, but has to correct it as he takes out inner clip 2. Has to check up coming out of outside zone 3. A little bit of a late transition. But putting it onto the wall, a little bit of left foot brake to keep him there. Massive angle coming into that inner clip. Absolutely throwing that BMW around. Will it be an improvement? We'll see. Oh, no! Oh, man. He was able to get it back on all fours. It's a scary ride there. You touch that hill, man, you're getting shot. Straight to the air. 74 for Dominic Moya. And Matthias. What can he do? He's already sitting on a 82. Can he give us a little bit more? Firing out of the gate. Nice smooth initiation. Gets into that cone. Both those clips. Nice wide angle. Backs it in right into the wall. Beautifully done. Nice angle. Coming through the final turn here. Looking clean, poised, and smooth. Doing what he does best. And a little, tries to get the 720. Almost will. I'm not going to count it, though. But the attempt was made, and that was a pretty good attempt. But we've already seen a 720 be executed. And an 85 from Matthias. He will improve up into 2nd. That's going to knock Miles down into 4th. Man, absolutely throwing it down, keeping it smooth. Exactly what the judges wanted to see. But now, the top 8 drivers are going to be making their way. The top 7. I think we are missing one. All right. Oh, Jonathan Casillas, yes, he unfortunately could not make it today. So we won't be seeing him, but these are going to be your top 7, or at least top 8 drivers in the series. They're all lined up in this group. So if you've been waiting for action, if you haven't been pleased with the action already, we've already been seeing people throwing down. But if you haven't been happy up to this point, you're going to see it. These guys are going to absolutely throw it down. I think their lives depend on it. And we'll see our all-great, omnipotent master, Anthony Taylor, take his swing. 98.1, Anthony Taylor. He absolutely hates it, and I love it. Can we get some 98.1s in chat? Just everybody, just 98.1, if you could. As Kyle has his caps lock stuck on. We got a 1.98. The half of lock to lock, please. Stop bullying our driver. No. Absolutely not. We'll stop bullying him when Slam throws down a good 360. You can't do that, Kyle. We bully everybody here. Equally, though. As to not get harassment complaints. Anthony Taylor. Absolute gem of a nickname that were bestowed upon him during round 2. Yeah, guys, if we don't want to hurt our camera guy's feelings. He's sensitive. But the drivers getting their practice laps in, making sure they're all warm. They've been waiting up to this point. I believe we're going to start getting things underway as we got TDR Keefe slowly but surely making his way to the line. What can Keefe throw down here? Nice angle. Might have been a 30-point initiation there. The judges, it's a big no-no. But still, keeping it nice and smooth. Nice uptight to the wall, but not dragging bumper. Nice safe run. Nice and smooth for Keefe. As we'll get a little 360 action to boot too. Nicely done. As now we just await the scores. As they start to make their way. Next driver up to the line. An 82 for Keefe. But Venus up to the line from Team Lock to Lock. What can he do here? As this is where we'll start to see those higher scores kind of show their way in. Ed Venus absolutely knows how to throw down in this S13.5. And he's putting it down right now. He's letting that baby sing. Throwing it, backing it into the wall. Absolute masterclass. Keeping it nice, smooth, tight to all the zones. Exactly what we want to see out of these drivers. Oh, almost takes like he hit the camera. How could you hit the camera? An 82 for Ed Venus. Matching scores with Keefe. We got Legacy from Team Kinetik. That S13. Oh, it's Diaz. Sorry. Looks like I have a little bit of name glitch going on my end. We'll figure this out. All right. Diaz up to the line. Driving for Team EOD. Nice big flick in. Not able to get to those 2 hash marks on the inside of that inner clip. Nice big angle, swinging that thing around through the power alley right onto the wall. Absolutely throwing it down, having to choke up a little bit of angle there. Coming around the final turn all the way out to that wall. Beautifully done. Looking to rebound off of how last round went. As unfortunately, he got knocked out pretty early. But having to fight back a point deficit, was sitting in the top 3. Now finding himself sitting in 6th. Another 82 for Diaz. As we got Drake from Team Lock to Lock, also piloting the S13.5. We've seen a lot of these top drivers love to wheel around. Firing out of the gate. Nice smooth initiation. Right where he needs to be on transition, but oh no, too much angle is going to pull him out of that third outer zone. Throws it into the wall, not quite up close to it, as we've seen a few drivers do, especially in this group. But putting down a safe run here. This will be a good score. Won't be the best, but certainly will be a pretty good score. We'll see these drivers throw down on their second run, that's for certain. As we've seen from the last group, these guys are not afraid to throw it. A 72, not an 82. Our production was about to put his fist through his monitor if there was another 82. So luckily a little bit 10 points under. But Chillmate to Kinetik up to the line. See if he can put it down for Team Kinetik. Nice smooth initiation, not crazy angle. But able to float it on through, keeping it smooth all the way out to outside zone 3. And same with 4. Or 2 and 3, sorry. Nice and close to that wall. Right where he needs to be, coming around to the final corner. Could have been a little bit tighter to that inner clip. Putting it right onto the wall. We'll see what the judges think. 75 for Chillmate. But our number 2 driver in the standings making his way to the line, Lester. What can he do here? An absolute artist when it comes to the chase, but he certainly knows how to throw down a good lead line as well. Nice initiation. He's going to punt out that first inner clip. A little bit of left foot brake helping him get out to outside zone 2. Setting up for the wall, putting it right onto there, just keeping it planted. Going around for the final corner, keeping his speed. Coming around across the line. We'll see what the judges think of that run. Sitting menacingly on the line, Anthony Taylor. A 75 for Lester. A lot to be improved on that run. But number 1 in the point standing since week 1, Anthony Taylor. Ready to throw down for his first run. Will he play it safe or will he throw it all out there? So the question's yet to be answered. Good initiation in. Coming around into the Coming around into the power alley. Good angle. Sets himself up beautifully for the wall. Sets it and forgets it. No minor corrections to be seen. He's just absolutely throwing it down nice and tight to the inner clip all the way out to the wall. It should definitely be a good score, but will it be enough to top Jeremy? Sitting at the top of the board with an 86. It will. A 90-point run for Anthony Taylor. He will be taken down quite convincingly so with our first 90-point run for Anthony Taylor. We're going to get all these drivers cycled back through for their second runs. Eve, ready to go. Trying to improve off of the 82, but definitely needs a good run still. Not quite getting all the way out to outer zone 3, but he's just absolutely throwing it around. Having to make corrections here and there. He's going to end up missing that inner clip, I believe. He makes his way across the line. I think he was able to get to the first hash. Oh, no. We have another one going to the other portion of the track. He's stuck in the tire barriers. He can't get out. The car's on fire. Someone's got to get out there. Anyways, 74 for Keith. The Venus warming up his tires. Ready to go. Venus, another driver with an 82. If he can't improve, he just at least needs to do better than a 74, and that will keep his place above Keith in the current standings. But oh no, he's going to absolutely overshoot that inner clip. He's able to get to the first hash. Not looking as great. A foot brake trying to get it back up to the wall. Thus not cooperating with him. It's coming around the final turn here. We'll see what the judges think. A few mistakes here and there. See if it'll be an improvement. He at least needs to do better than the 74 of Keith. Maybe a little bit more just for insurance. Still awaiting the judges' scores to make their way on through. A 74 for Edvinus. Will be able to hold on to 7th. We got Diaz up to the line. Another driver sitting on an 82. But would like to stay in 6th, if not improve. Nice big initiation. Coming around the inner clips, takes out the cone on the second, gets all the way out to 3. Oh no, I just lagged out. The Diaz snugging it up tight to the wall. Bringing that around. Oh, might have gotten to the grass there, but nice and smooth around the final corner, getting all the way outside to that wall. See if that is an improvement. Or at least to be able to keep him in 6th. Definitely a good run from Diaz. An 88 for Diaz, a great run. That's going to put him up into 2nd. These drivers just getting better and better as the night goes on. but Drake from Team Lock to Lock. He's ready to go. Needs to improve off of that 72. He's in the show, but definitely not where he wants to be as he absolutely hucks on the angle, but misses the inner clip. Making his way around, able to get all of outside zone 3. Pretty decent angle through the power alley. Throws it right onto the wall. Little tap there. Gonna unsettle the car, but he's able to get hold of it. Went around the final turn here. Also misses that inner clip as well, but is able to get a bit of it. This probably won't be a chart-topping score, but it definitely will be an improvement. Hopefully off of that 72. Fortunately, those inner clips just getting the best of them. And a 75. Well, it's an improvement. Definitely not where he'd probably see himself. But Chillmate up to the line. Chillmate looking to improve off of a 75 of his own. Nice, smooth initiation. Coming around looking a lot better. Into the wall, plants that bumper right onto the wall. Dragging that thing around. Man! Absolutely throwing it down. Not a massive amount of angle coming into that inner zone, but he's across the line. Bringing a whole new meaning to smooth as butter. Man, oh man. But what do the judges think? An 81. There you go. Fortunately, just not those inner clips playing a role. Once again, and also just not being able to carry as much angle through that last inner clip and initiation. I would have definitely gotten him a better score, but a few more mistakes that he needed to clean up. But Lester throwing it in. Definitely cannot be happy with that 75. He's going to be a madman behind the steering wheel, and he's absolutely throwing it down. He had a little bit of trouble with this wall. Can he improve? Yeah, he's keeping it up tight. Not dragging bumper like a lot of the high scorers we've had. Almost stalls it getting into that inner clip. Can't get to the cone there. So like Lester's having a little bit of mistakes here and there. Very uncharacteristic than of what we've seen of him. We'll see what the final score will be on his second run. Hopefully will be an improvement, and it will, an 83. That's going to slot him into 7th. But Anthony Taylor up to the line. He's already sitting on top of the boards with a 90. But let's see if he can throw it down just a little bit better. Anthony Taylor throws it in. Nice and smooth through those first 2 inner clips. Absolutely pouring on the angle through outer zone 2. Hucks it into the wall. Lets it sit right there. Not quite digging into it. But great proximity on the wall. Comes around the final turn. Keeping it smooth all the way out to the wall and across the line. Anthony Taylor with a little 360. We'll see Will that be an improvement off of his 90? No, it will be a 90. Double 90ing for Anthony Taylor. I believe that is going to do it for qualifying today. Anthony Taylor topping the boards with a 90. Diaz following behind with an 88. Jeremy Baptiste able to put down an 86. Diaz Matos absolutely shocking the world once again with an 85 and slammed. With an 84 is going to round out your top 5. Miles, Lester, Edvinus, Keefe, and Shillmate throwing out the top 10. Once again, we'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. It's an absolute honor and blessing to put on these shows for you guys every week. Tune in for tomorrow for Top 32. We'll see these guys go head-to-head here at Mondello for even more action here at Oversteer Grand Prix.
Slam limiter down the hill. Exactly what he's known for. Identical. Nice run, nice, beautiful run. And a little 360 to boot, keep all the way around to the power down that engine. Sing beautifully done.
Welcome back, everyone. Oversteer Grand Prix brings us all the way to Ireland for round 4. Here at Mondello, we expect a forecast of clear skies, a little bit of sunshine, but a whole lot of tire smoke.
Sound waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see ourselves a new leader.
The theme is